Awesome. So kind of a super random question. Okay. So I think we told you this when we're like, hey, we're gonna be snow biking with Brock Hoyer today. Of course we knew who you were, but I'm like, I need to learn more about Brock. See what kind of guy we're dealing with here, right? So we're YouTubing, Googling, finding all the podcasts you've been on. Anyways, I landed on the way home video.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
And while I was watching
when
this,
you're saying another thing, that was another other than the Next Games Gold. That one was super fun.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to film. Anyways, keep going. Yeah.
the question I have is like, did you have to shut down the town to do that video? Because there's literally like no one.
Yeah. So
not a public person there.
It took a lot of time. Like that thing was like from start to finish, from like first like talking in a corner to like into producers to pulled trigger was like 2.5 years. We did a teaser because we wanted to keep certain sponsors in and excited. It's just the permits and we got lucky. It was like we planned this thing like a year out. We're gonna do it like I don't know what it was, like February 5th for a week, and it didn't snow. And then literally the day we showed up, it just nuked, reset.
Wow!
And we had 5 days of Bluebird to shoot this thing.
Yeah.
And the funny thing in that shoot was I endoed that kit. I had a riot, and I destroyed that thing first day shooting. Oh. That sea can jump where I whip over that sea can, I did it like the third time, landed funny, endoed onto the road, and the thing just pile drive and just bent in half. And just kind of a cool backstory. Anyone that timber side knows, I hammered that thing straight with a hammer and shot the whole video. 3 more days of like gnarly riding, jumping groomers. And
jumping onto trains.
A couple little dents in there, but you couldn't tell. Like I straightened that thing out, rode that thing. But yeah, back to that story. We had permits and we had the RCMP, the police officers there, and actually traffic workers, and we shut down sections and filmed it, moved on to the next section, shut it down, and then we would bring in certain extras, people walking down the street to make it look like there was like abandoned. And then the shot through the mountain bike shop, that was totally just last minute. They heard us on the street, and the owner comes out, he's like, hey, why don't you ride through our shop? We're like, let's do it. So we rode through the shop. Some of those spots you can tell I have a wheel kit on because, of course, it's like asphalt, so it's not. But that all kind of came from one of our players, athletes, was Levi LaValle. He does a lot of cool stuff on sleds like that. And I was like, it didn't know how to do it or what we needed to do, but I was like, man, it'd be so cool to do. And other Red Bull athletes do similar stuff, skiing, mountain bikes. I was like, I want to do a snow bike version. I don't know how, but I want to do it. And then that's kind of the we all kind of just kind of the sawmill shot. I went there like 2 days before, or the day before we shot that. And the guy, I'm like, hey, maybe like you got some cool stuff. You think we can ride over your roof? And he's like, yeah, man, I'll go plow it out. He plowed it out, fired the whole sawmill up, got a worker in, and shot it.
Wow.
And that was the same as the Seacam property. That was all the same. And let me go over his roof. I'm like, oh, man, this guy's awesome.
That's a lot of moving parts going on.
And it was all just stuff that just fell into places. I know lots of people in Revelstoke, and it's such a great community. And my buddy would know that buddy, and everyone was just like super stoked for this. And it was funny. I shot that there, and everyone thinks I live in Revelstoke. Yeah. Because I'm there a lot. And so they're like, hey, man, I want to ride in your hometown. I'm like, I don't live there. Yeah. I'm like 5 hours away. Yeah. But yeah, it was definitely it was a cool shoot. Yeah. It's my favorite shoot. It was.
Yeah, it's awesome. So if you haven't seen it, just go YouTube The Way Home.
The Way Home.
Brock Hoyer, it's money. Yeah.